What is going on, my peeps? Your man Versatile is back with another video, back here to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3 2 weeks later, baby. Another week has passed by. How has the experience been on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3? And one of the things we're going to highlight about this phone 2 weeks later is the software. Yes, have I had any issues with the software? But before we get into the software, has there been an update on the battery life? And yes, there's been an update on the battery life. The battery life is still consistent. That's the update. The update is that the battery is still good. Haven't had any issues, haven't had to turn on, turn off any features. Of course, I use adaptive brightness by default, but in terms of any of those features I showed you guys in the battery improvements video, I don't use those. I still use it full power, enhanced processing. I got my processor running 2 degrees Celsius hotter as well, and I still can get through a day from morning to evening, a little bit of nighttime with no problems. That's what you call good battery life. Samsung has worked wonders, and that's in part due to the software. But before we get into any additional details about the Galaxy Z Flip 3, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that way you never miss my videos. Then we can sit back, relax, and see what's cracking. Let me know down in the comment section below, have you noticed your battery staying consistent in terms of being good or bad? Have you had any issues with your phone overall? Let me know down in the comment section below. Now let's get into the video. And yes, the next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, that hardware. It is still holding up. It is still looking fresh. It is still looking clean. Oh, y'all remember that? So fresh and so clean. All right, enough. Yes, this phone has been just an absolute wonder to use with no problems. And one of the reasons is because Samsung has done a great job of refining the hardware to make it much more friendly to the hand and that clasp. Now, one of the things I don't do is open it with one hand. Every once in a blue moon, I have to open it like this. So you guys see I got my fingers on the side here, and then I kick it out and I'm able to open it just like so. So that's one of the things I've been able to do. Closing it with one hand hasn't been no issue, but if I can do it right here, boom. See, I can do that. And has been a joy to use. One of the things I want to highlight is that crease. The crease is a little bit more subtle than the Z Flip 5G's crease, but the crease is gonna be there regardless because it's a flip phone. So there will be a crease, and a crease does not get in my way of using the phone. It does not get in the way of viewing the phone. And as you see, you have to hit specific angles to see it, because once I do this, it's gone. Once I do that, for the most part, it's gone. It's only once light strikes it. And if you have it on, again, light needs to do something there. I like this wallpaper. You guys know I change my wallpaper quite often, but again, because the phone's also black, it's much easier to hang with a darker wallpaper like this to also further take advantage of battery life. Yes, I am a big fan of AMOLED wallpapers. So in terms of hardware, super solid, super fresh, haven't had any issues. Cameras have continued to remain solid. And in terms of software now, it's thanks to the software that this phone has remained a joy to use. Haven't had any issues with the cover display, haven't had any glitches, haven't had any like stutter moments. Like, and we're talking about Samsung here. Samsung experience, the Samsung One UI has flipped the script when it comes to Samsung's priority with their software, and it is to be much more minimal despite the amount of software setting features that they have and apps you can download to add more features and settings. It's so much more smooth and fluid, and I don't know if it is because of enhanced processing or me being able to take advantage of the Good Guardian's thermal booster to eke out a little bit more for processing, but I haven't had any issues with that. One of the issues I had with the Z Flip 5G was that if I close the phone, if I left an app and then I close the phone, so I'm on home screen, upon closing the phone, when I open it back up and actually unlock the phone, it would bring me back into that app as if I had the app open still. Haven't had that issue now one time with the Galaxy Z Flip 3. Samsung has refined the software on this phone, and One UI 3.1.1 works wonders. And I'm kind of happy that Samsung went the route of more tweaks, improvements, and fixes bug squashing, as opposed to a feature heavy update that we would usually get with a One UI X.5 update. But with One UI 3.1.1, they have decided to sit back, fix certain things, smoothing out certain things. 120 hertz runs fresh on here, and yes, I'm still getting great battery life despite the 120 hertz display, and that's all doing thanks to Samsung's software prowess, something that they have matured in, something that they have grown up in. I have had no issues with this phone. I love it. Battery life, again, it's, you know, incrementally improved once I hit 10% battery life, but outside of that, and it's probably, again, due to software, it continuing to understand my usage patterns, but I haven't had any issues with this phone, and I like it. I like it a lot. And you see I'm smiling because I haven't had any issues. Me, I don't try to find a lot of reasons to hate on anything, to be concerned about a lot of things. I don't bash stuff. So when I have points of concern, it's because, oh, you know what? There is something that's a little iffy here. But if you take advantage of battery improvement techniques that Samsung has integrated into the phone, if you're having battery life problems, one, check the amount of apps you have downloaded. Two, do you need those apps downloaded and install them? Three, if you still need the app on your phone, take advantage of the deep sleeping and the sleeping app functions that Samsung has built within the settings, so that way you can actually quiet those apps and they don't drain battery, right? Take advantage of dark mode, take advantage of AMOLED wallpapers, take advantage of that good Guardians with the thermal boosting, and actually boost it in the other direction, so that way you can actually get a cooler phone overall and you won't use that much battery life. Don't use enhanced processing. Go into the battery settings and actually change your settings to actually throttle your processor down so you only use 70% as opposed to 110%, or basically really like, you know, 95%, because I don't think we're using the full power of these processors anyway. But those are features you can take advantage of, and that's not even downloading third-party apps outside of the one first-party app from Samsung. Do that in order to take advantage of your phone. Also, maybe check out how many games you got downloaded. How often do you play games on your phone? Do you use your phone more for media than you do just as a phone? And then curb some of your habits if you have to, if you're having any issues with battery life. That's how you can get around battery life, because oftentimes these phones come out with good battery right out the box. It's just taking advantage of certain things, and then ultimately your use case. And for me, I have this sucker running on blast and I haven't had any issues, and then that's in part again due thanks to Samsung software understanding the phone that it is running. And with this being a flip phone, flex mode has been no problem. Now, I don't use flex mode as often as I used to, especially with YouTube still not having that function. I'm still waiting on something to update something so YouTube can have the media controls on the bottom half of the display. But I don't really use it just because I use my TV to watch a lot of media, or I use my tablet to watch a lot of media. So flex mode for me, I don't really have to use like that on this phone. Now, Zoom calls, it works fine, you know, bumping it up and just having the phone propped up somewhere, it'll work for a Zoom call from that perspective. Pictures, I haven't needed to use it for pictures. I'll just take a picture like so, you know, double tapping and taking a picture, or open the phone up and double tapping the power button to take a picture. Holding the phone up, you know, I open or close, but I haven't really had any issues from that perspective or use flex mode to that degree. And I'm interested to know if any of you guys use flex mode to its entirety. Of course, in labs mode, I have all the things turned on, so that way I could if I needed to, but I don't. Multi-window is pretty nice to use on here when you need to use it. Having enough space on each part of the phone, both top half and bottom half of the phone, to display adequate information from each app is nice. But I also kind of do that more on my tablet, being able to bring up 2 to 3 apps. And in Dex mode, of course, I can bring up as many apps as I need to and do a 4-square technique or something like that if I need to access a ton of different little information. So my phone is much more in the realm of phone and running light, minimal, like workflow tasks for YouTube and social media, posting and stuff like that, emails. So I barely use my phone for gaming. Chess is the only game I really play on here, you know. So in terms of really using it outside of that, that's partially why I probably get good battery life out of this as well, because I'm not gun-hoing using this thing every second I can. It gets its time to itself in standby mode. So, and again, the software improved standby mode, which is why you get that much better battery life when it's just chilling. So overall, software wise on this phone has been phenomenal. A week ago, battery life was phenomenal. Today, software is phenomenal. We're gonna see what we're gonna talk about in about a month when we do the overall review of the phone. Or maybe I do a 3-week review. Maybe, we'll see. If you guys want to see a 3-week review, let me know down in the comment section below. Otherwise, you will be seeing a month review. And it's going to be overall the totality of everything, but I'm trying to think of what I could potentially hone in on that I haven't overly talked about the last few times talking about the Z Flip 3. It might be the cameras, who knows? I mean, it could be the hardware, because I love the hardware. I love the hardware. But let me know down in the comment section below, how's your experience with the Z Flip 3, or are you still contemplating buying it? Is it in transit to you? What do you think about the foldables in 2021 or 2022 whenever you're watching this video? Or if this video is still catching views in 2023 because people are still interested in the Z Flip 3 bars, let me know down in the comment section below. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that we know our videos. And we can sit back, relax, and see what's cracking. But your man Broso signing out until the next video. Oh. Woo, flossy style. Wait for it.